Alrighty traders, so let's have a update across the markets today. Silver's actually holding very strong right now. Silver's actually really in a strong upward trend. Stock market's holding here, guys, but I believe the stock market's going to see some more upside to come. So let's get straight into it today, guys. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, so an update across the markets today. Everything's starting to become really strong again. Now, I did, in yesterday's update, I talked about the silver market, right? So I talked about the silver market and I talked about how we've just been in a very strong upward trend and I expect that to continue, right? And so one thing I'm seeing right now when it comes to the silver market is this. Check this out. So you can actually see that. Right, let's bring up the last 6 months. And look at this here. So we're actually, silver is actually really starting to gain a lot of momentum, right? Because look at this here. We came up, higher low. There's the moving average, right? Came up, came down, higher low, came up, came down. See these are what's called significant higher lows. I don't do the small lows. Whenever I'm trying to identify the trend, I don't do the small lows, right? So if I saw a market that looked like this, right, where the market went up, had a little pullback, went up, little pullback, went up, little pullback, and did something like that, to me, I don't do the small little ones. I don't do the small little up and down, up and up and down. These small little, this one here, right? You got this small little one here, small little one. To me, I like to look at the overall flow of the market. And so to me right now, I'm identifying this here and this here would be the lows, right? So you can see, I could identify this as a low and this is a low and so on and so forth. But the big thing for me is I'm looking for those big swings ups and down, right? Low, higher low, and another higher low here. And the really interesting point looking at silver as well is we can see that silver almost came down to its last resistance level before making its way to the upsides. And you can see that's actually what happened last time, right? We had this resistance here, broke up, came back down, and now it looks like we could be getting ready for a bit of a follow through here on the silver market there. So right now, guys, silver is actually looking really strong. To me, looking out, let's bring up this weekly chart here. Actually, you can see that's that level through there, right? So the next resistance level on the silver market is possibly up through there somewhere. So that's where I'm seeing what's going on right now with the overall markets through here. We can see we're low, higher low, and now we're breaking up. So with what I just said there, I do expect to see a high low here because I do expect to see possibly a move up towards that $35 area or $35 number when it comes to the silver market. Let's go look at gold as well too. And gold is just really sort of holding strong, right? We're holding strong. We're not going down here. So I'm expecting possibly gold is getting ready for possibly another move to the upside. Once again, we're getting this sort of action here. We've got a low, came up, and this is the swings, right? So it'll be up, down, up, down, up, down. So you can see it through there, right? So you can see low, higher low, and a higher low all through there, right? So we're getting these higher lows still in place. And now we're just going sideways here on the gold market. So I wouldn't want to be short gold right now. But I do believe gold is basing out here, getting ready for another really big move soon to come. Because I actually have a target of 3,000 on the on the gold market. Now my initial target was 2,400 on gold, and that was actually based off my actual trade that I did. Now the trade's been done and dusted. I'm now looking at what we're looking at right now, and I'm now saying, okay, we're probably likely to see some really big moves to the upside coming real soon. So one thing we want to do, guys, is one of the hardest things about trading is is the patience things, right? And I always call it patient in, patient out. Now, one thing I've always found for myself is that the really big trades take time to set up, right? Big trades don't come today. Big trades take time to actually set up, to develop, right? Especially if you know what you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, then make sure you grab access to my trading course, that link in the description there, guys. And I'll teach you all the details to my actual trading system when it comes down to that. Because if it's so important you know what to look for, right? Because there is what's called my setup. Okay. Now the setup simply means is I really like sideways periods, right? So that's the setup for me. That's part of the setup. Again, I'll walk you through all the details to my trading system. There's a link in the description there, guys. You can grab access to the webinar that I'm running, or you can grab access to the free trading course, or the trading course I'm giving away free access to, that'll teach you all about the actual, the actual trading techniques and so on and so forth, and the trading strategy. But for me, as I said before, I always liking the setup for me in the markets. The setup for me is always what's called a sideways period. Because when the market goes sideways for a while, inevitably what's going to happen? Inevitably we're going to get a breakout, we're going to have a move, right? So one of the things that I really like to see is this here. So when this here was happening on gold, which was what? December, January, and February. That was 3 months of waiting for what? Gold to now break out to give me my entry signal. So I have my setup, which is sideways period. Now that's one of the rules, right? It's not all the rules, but to keep it really simple, my setup is what? The sideways period. Now the setup, it requires patience, right? It requires you to come up, sometimes watch a stock or a market, sometimes in this case for 3 months as it just goes sideways, and then I get my entry signal off that there, right? And this is the reason why it's so powerful, because I've always found that the best trades that make the biggest move take time to set up, and then bam, we have the big moves, right? And there's many markets out there that look exactly like this that I'm watching right now when it comes to the markets here, right? So that's where, like, I always found that to jump on really big moves in the markets, remember, for something to make a big move, it needs a lot of energy, a lot of fuel. And I always call that the sideways period, just like gold right now. The sideways period is that building energy, building, refueling, getting ready to have another big move. And if we can have 2 to 3 months of sideways movement, especially if it's with the overall trend, massive probability we're going to break and have a nice move in that direction. Now then, the second stage to that is then learning how to manage those trades properly to maximize the profits when it comes to that sort of trading there. Make sense? So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to silver and gold. Let's go look at the actual mining stocks right now. And mining stocks are actually holding up quite strongly through here. We actually had a low, higher low. You could see what actually we came down towards this just recently anyway. Right? You can see we recently came down. We had this level of support around the $43 level around the mining sector. And now we came down, bounced. And now we're at this level here right now. So if I bring up the last 6 months, you can see both moving averages on my charts right now are very strongly trending up. So we could be getting ready for, once again, guys, we could be getting ready for a really big move, or another really strong move to the upside out of the mining sector here. Because if I go look at let's bring up this chart here. I'm going to bring up the weekly chart. Because if I bring up my weekly charts, we may be holding here, because the next major resistance level looks like it's up through there somewhere. We do have a little bit of short-term resistance all through here around the 48, but once we actually break that, then we could quite possibly see maybe a move up towards 52, maybe. Let's bring up this chart again here. Yeah, possibly around that area. It's maybe even around that area through there. So we may be getting ready for another move to the upside around the $50 level there. That looks like an area where the market actually may be getting ready to have a move to the upside from there. So that's the GDXJ. This is the GDX as well too. And we're looking at sort of the same situation, right? We actually had a breakdown. Now we had a break back up, and now it looks like we're starting to really pick up again. But again, this is where, like, trading with the trend is the most important thing, right? Because if the market's making higher lows, higher low, higher low. This could be just another higher low. You want to be going with the market, right? Trying to short the market here, short the market here, even short the market here. Even when I get to the stock market, right? People probably saying the top's in the stock market. Just go with the market, right? Go with the market. If like you can think about it, right? If you're trying to short a trend, what's your success rate in that strategy? We'll talk about maybe 30% success rate, right? Because as you know, trends last longer than the counter trends. So trying to short a bull market, you might be right 30% of the time. So if that's the case, if you're right, why not flip it on its head and then go with the market and not what we think and crash and so on and so forth. And then you should be right 7 times out of 10, right? But then obviously then you need to overlay that of, then we trade with the, because rule number 1 for me is trade with the trend. And then I'm starting to look for things like the sideways period, the breakaway bar, all that sort of stuff that we've actually talked about in today's video for you. The SIL, one thing the SIL, you can see same thing through here, right? SIL came down towards this major level of support, this resistance through in the past, now 32. So we're just hovering around here. So what's this going to be here on the SIL? Really interesting. The big thing about the SIL, guys, is that once this breaks, right, once this really breaks out on the big picture here, we really could start to see some really big moves to the upside. And the same thing for this is the SILJ. Let's go look at the last, same thing here, right? So we have that major level of support is now, that major level of resistance now came down and found support, and now we're bouncing back up again. So we could be getting ready for a really big move coming out of this level as well too when it comes to the markets here. But with very, very, very strong trend. I would not want to be trying to fight this trend right now. Again, we're in a bit of a short-term sort of downward trend through here, which I have a line possibly through there somewhere, like so, possibly through there, right? And looking at the silver miners, guys. So this is the SILJ. It looks like there's that next major resistance around that level through there, I would say. So around $14.50, right? So if this does hold and we continue up from here, guys, so support. If we hold here and then we break out to the upside, then this could be getting ready to have a move up towards that $14.50 level, because low, high, low, and then that is that next resistance level through there. Let's go look at the actual market itself. Let's go look at the actual Nasdaq. Let's start off with the Nasdaq here. Nasdaq, bit of a nothing day today, guys. After yesterday's follow through, I do expect to see, once again, let me just bring on this one here. Right, I do expect to see, now we've actually had this move up. It came down, found support. Now we're breaking out. This sort of sideways day, I do expect to see this now. We may have a bit of a sideways period through here, guys, for a few days, but I do expect to see this thing now start to pick back up. The market has told us, guys, and this is where just really, really, really right. The market has told us that it's not going to be a topping pattern, not just yet. If it was going to be a topping pattern, guess what? We'd have this sideways period first, and then we get the drop to the downside, right? And then we get the drop to the downside. That's what false breakouts or top patterns are. Top patterns are not this. When we get this resistance all through here, then it becomes support, and then we start to pick back up again. This is what? Up, higher, low, the way we go. So this is with the overall markets. That's the Nasdaq. Looking at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is still pretty much just stuck in this overall sort of triangle pattern through here, or this channel through here. Not up, not down, just really sideways period, which is actually really exciting, by the way, guys. This is really exciting because once it actually does start to eventually make its move, and if we do start to break up again eventually over the next few months, then the Dow Jones could be one of those really big movers as well too. Let's go look at the Russell, and the Russell is actually a really exciting market, right? The Russell could be this inverted head and shoulders could really, really, look at this here. Big inverted head and shoulders, right? So you got the shoulder here, got the head here. This could be a shoulder here. For me, once again, what is it? It's just up, down. If we do get something like this happening out of the markets, which I'm actually expecting, I'm not going to trade based on what I expect. I'm going to wait for my entry. But if we get something like that, guys, then this could be the Russell could be the, Russell could be one of those indices, guys, where we could be getting ready for a really, really, really big move out of the markets from there as well too. And an update on the S&P 500. Same thing here, guys. Market ran up. We actually had we've got this little bit of support resistance all through here. So we found resistance, came up, came down, found support, and now we're just continued to break up and hold through here. So I'm expecting to see this thing just have a nice continuation to the upside from here. The market's in a very, very, very strong bull market, guys. I personally am one to not fight this. Again, the trend is your friend until the end, right? And when you start to get good higher lows in place, and also you get a strong moving average, see that my moving average, whenever the moving average is strong like that, see what's happening right now? What is happening right now? The moving average is strong, right? In fact, if I did do that, let's actually draw a line from there to there. That's the overall angle. So let's make that really thick. I'm going to create a parallel trend line. And it's almost the same, right? But actually the moving average right now, as I speak, right, let's actually do this here. So the moving average right now it's almost the same as this level through here. So that's that level through there. If I did do this, let's do this here, right? So that's that level through there. That's the old moving average. And the new moving average, the new angle, let's actually make this level through here. I'm just trying to show you there's actually a lot of strong momentum. Let's make this green. And then what I want to do is I want to then actually overlay this properly on the actual current moving average right now. So this is the current moving average. So as you can see here, it's just slightly, but what am I looking at here? So this is the moving average here, which is strong. This here, right, which may even be through there somewhere, but as you can see, the moving average right now is at the moving average is like a momentum indicator, and the moving average is a lot stronger right now. What's that telling you? There's a lot of strong momentum. Even when we had this nice strong momentum through here, remember this angle here is just the exact same angle here. What does that actually mean overall? That the moving average right now, which again, this is overlaying through here, just like overlaying, I'm just drawing over the moving average. The moving average is really showing you that this is really, really, really in a strong upward trend. And the momentum is a lot stronger now than it has been in quite some time. So I would expect now, guys, since we're now breaking out, hold support, good trend, good momentum, I would expect to see the S&P 500 this for it to continue from there. So there we go, traders. If you do need some help, guys, then you may be a good fit for my coaching program where I'm with you every single day. I teach you what I learned for in really high quality, powerful setups, so you don't miss out on opportunities. And right now, guys, is really the time to really get sorted and get yourself educated around understanding how to see these opportunities for yourself, so you don't miss out on what I believe is hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of dollars of opportunities, and what I do believe that in the market. Also, my coaching program is all about if you'd like to be with me every single day, where I'm showing you what I'm doing, but I'm also helping you and coaching you and guiding you every single day the market's open for an hour and a half. Then that second link in the description there, guys, that's that. I'll go to getjohnshelp.com, fill out the application form, and I'll personally call you to see if you're a good fit.